Working on that all day.
I feel like I might have, but
Fights and frights.
Halloween Havoc was incredible. AEW, another incredible show. We just got done with Hell in a Cell. Where do we start, Dan?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, before anything else, I just want to make sure we mention this, the passing of Tracy Smothers. The wrestling community is definitely mourning his loss, someone very important to the community. So I definitely wanted to throw that in before we forget. When it comes to Hell in a Cell, that was a show I enjoyed. And you know me, I kind of think Hell in a Cell should only be on special occasions, but I actually enjoyed it, even though I legit almost cried, got teary-eyed when Drew McIntyre lost the WWE Championship to Randy Orton. I think because, not like a friend of the show. We had him on once, but I kind of had this personal connection. I kind of felt he and I kind of bonded. And now he's gone. Well, he's not gone. He's not dead, but he lost the championship. He might as well be dead because he's fighting The Miz the next day on Monday Night Raw. So it's just, man.
Tough loss, and I think this was one of the few times, Dan, that we can truly say we didn't see it coming, right? This is not what we saw coming. This is not what we saw happening. It didn't really make sense to make Randy Orton a champion. However, big congratulations to one of the best to ever do it, 14-time champion Randy Orton. I watched this outside with family. My parents laid down some concrete recently, so we got a projector, was able to watch it outside in this beautiful weather. It was awesome. I will say Roman Reigns, Jey Uso was perfect storytelling. I've been crapping all over the storyline, and I really enjoyed that match pretty thoroughly, but I thought Sasha Banks and Bayley was the match of the night. Dan, what do you think?
I'm actually going to disagree with you. I love the Sasha and Bayley match. I was very happy to have Sasha Banks win the SmackDown Women's Championship, but I really did enjoy, in terms of storyline, the Uso versus Roman Reigns match. And like you, I was really not really warming up to this rivalry at first. I kind of thought it was a throwaway match. They had it a couple of pay-per-views ago, and I thought, okay, what's the point of this? But I really love the storytelling, the whole family thing, the tension, the whole thing with Roman Reigns saying I'm the tribal chief of the family. But here's what that match missed, Brandon. And you're going to be surprised to hear this from me. You'll call me a hypocrite or whatever, but I think this match from Hell in a Cell between Roman Reigns and Uso, I think it needed some blood. It needed blood because remember at the end where Uso, and I always get it mixed up. Was that Jey Uso or Jimmy Uso? It was Jey Uso, right?
Whatever it was.
Whatever Uso. Okay, Uso's on the
Jey,
Uso's on the floor. He's on the mat, and he's like, "Oh my God!" And Roman's beating him up, and it's like, "No, he can't take any more." I think Uso should have been a bloody mess. I think he should have been bleeding everywhere. It should have been hard to watch. It should have been just like cringy to watch. If you're watching while you're eating dinner, you throw up because you can't watch it, and you're seeing Roman Reigns beat the crap out of someone. I think that's the only thing I was missing. Again, like I don't really like blood, but if it's used sparingly and it's used correctly, I think it actually adds to the match. And I think this would have been a good time to have blood on pay-per-view, especially Hell in a Cell. And I think WWE missed out.
Wow, that's, very surprising from Dan Cialana. You mostly are not a fan of blood. You're not a fan of the hard-hitting stuff. Normally, I am that guy. I do agree with you. I wish there was blood, period. I wanted to see Drew McIntyre take a Mick Foley spot from the top of the Hell in a Cell. I wanted to see Sasha Banks break Bayley's arm, do something crazy. I want to see all of it. However, what we got was very well done. And I think when you look at it, I agree with you. I think Jimmy, whatever Uso ran in, he was teary-eyed. He was crying. Roman started to do his fake cry. I thought it all played out very, very well. I was thoroughly surprised. Hell in a Cell in general, where are you grading it from 1 to 10, though, on pay-per-views that we've seen this year?
I'll give it a solid 8.
Okay.
That's a B, like right?
Yeah, I like that. If we're talking, grade school, yeah, you're looking at a B minus. If you're looking at an 8, I'm gonna say it was a 7.5. I think it was very good. It was great. I think we saw some surprises. I think you could push it to an 8 because Sasha becomes champ. Randy Orton becomes champ. Those are huge surprises, especially Randy Orton.
Well, it could be 8 depending on how you measure.
Yeah, exactly. It depends on what view you're getting of it all. You know what I mean? However, I do believe it was a great pay-per-view. And then, I know later on we're going to get into Halloween Havoc. We're going to get into AEW. But overall, the product that WWE presented to us was pretty well done. I'm happy about it. I liked it. I thought it was. Did the whole red Hell in the Cell play in your favor? I mean, last year we saw red lighting, which I think me and you both hated. But the red Hell in the Cell, did it make it more dramatic for you? I know that was kind of a big deal this year.
Yeah, maybe they got to do the red Hell in a Cell color because they're not going to have any blood. So actually, I think you were there at Hell in a Cell in San Antonio. I think it was maybe 2017, 2018. I think it was the first year that they actually had the red cell. So it's something that's just going to happen all the time now. I guess it's fine. I got used to it. So just as long as they don't do that red lighting like last time, that bad.
Red lighting was awful. I don't know why they chose to do that. I am
because they like to ruin everything. WWE likes to ruin everything. Not
and
everything.
I'm glad we stopped doing that. No,
Most
everything.
things.
You're right. Most things. Yeah, you're right. But when we talk about it, Dan, WWE has been great currently, has been great in the past, obviously looking very, very promising in the future. And I know hopefully today we're going to be talking to a legend himself. Isn't that right? Correct, Dan Santalana?
Yes, legend. Absolutely. Teddy Long, player. He is a Hall of Famer, WWE. In fact, he's now the general manager for SWE Fury. And speaking of SWE Fury, we will be giving away tickets later, not now, later, not now, later, to their November 7th show here in San Antonio. So keep listening for that. Don't call now. See, that's the thing with the radio. When you say we're going to give away something later, people start calling right now. Yes. Now is not later. Later is later. Keep listening.
Later is later, and now is now. And right now, let's talk about something very close to our hearts and it's going to be close to your TV screens coming soon. Netflix has announced a multi-part documentary on Vincent Kennedy McMahon. How excited are you, Dan? And how are you going to be? Is there any surprises that we're going to find out? Or do you feel like we know more than the average person? And do you think this Netflix doc is really going to be a tell-all? What are we expecting with this?
First of all, I hope we don't find out much more about Vince McMahon than we already know, because I already feel like I know a little bit too much about Vince McMahon. I can never look at grapefruits again the same way after Vince McMahon described himself about having grapefruits. So I don't know this. I'll probably watch this documentary. I'll borrow someone's Netflix password to watch this. It's gonna be fun. I'm sure it'll be interesting to see the whole steroids trial and to see like how much of that McMahon is honest about. Good times.
Yeah, I think the steroid trial is gonna be interesting. I want to see the Bret Hart stuff. The whole Bret Hart. I want to see the stuff with Shawn Michaels, with The Undertaker. I want to see how he dealt with The Rock stuff. Is this basically what I'm assuming? Because I know it said it's going to be like a multi-part thing. Is this going to be the Last Dance Michael Jordan doc for wrestling? Is that what we're expecting?
I don't know if it'll have the caliber and the kind of the prominence of the Last Dance, but maybe McMahon is doing something like this now. He's getting a little old, and maybe he's finally want to look back at his life, tell some stories he's never told anyone else before. So yeah, I think it's gonna be good.
And one of the highest budgeted documentaries is what we're hearing. But with that, also positive news for, I know you mentioned Drew McIntyre, friend of the show, a real friend of the show, Thunder Rosa. We're hearing rumors, big push, hopefully to AEW, WWE. We're here, obviously, as friends, first and foremost, right, Dan Cialana? But we're also sports journalists, right? And those are in quotes. Those are very loosely worded frames right there. But when we talk about it, Dan, what is more of a possibility, AEW or WWE, for a friend of the show, Thunder Rosa?
All right. First of all, let me reframe. Let me go back. So Thunder Rosa unfortunately lost her NWA Women's Championship Tuesday night to Serena Deeb. Good for Serena Deeb, but yeah, Thunder Rosa lost that championship. I've actually held that championship. If you go to my Twitter at
you Dan for the Counts,
I've smelled that championship. James Pledger, we both has sniffed that championship, and it's gone now. Well, Serena Deeb has it now.
Bunch of weirdos.
So Serena Deeb actually took that championship that she won in Southern California on Tuesday night and went to AEW the next day in Florida, with Thunder Rosa's face still on the championship belt because they haven't had a chance to change it. Good on her. But when Thunder Rosa lost the championship, all these rumors went around the internet about where is Thunder Rosa going. And there's one guy who's sort of at fault for these rumors, a guy named Dave Meltzer.
No,
now, I know we got to go to break real quick here, and we can get in this on the other side, but there is an acronym on the wrestling internets about Dave Meltzer that says FDM. And a polite, radio-friendly way to say that is forget Dave Meltzer. Because sometimes he gets things wrong, and maybe we'll talk about that on the other side here, but I have some definite thoughts about the rumors about Thunder Rosa, and I think I know what she's going to be doing next.
All righty, sounds good. Well, we are going to be coming back right after this, and we're going to be talking more fights and frights on our Halloween special episode, so keep it locked to ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, 1250 AM, and on the go at espnsa.com/wrestling.
This football season, more than any other, we're all reflecting on the wonder years of football. And in celebrating the heart of America's favorite sport, we've got a bold snack that'll help rekindle some really great memories. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds have the bold flavors you crave, like Korean kimchi barbecue, pasilla chili cheese, spicy dill, and more. Get them at HEB. Because, hey, pigskins and pigskins, they go together. Visit porkrinds.com to see how you can win $5,000 when you celebrate Pork Rind Appreciation Day with Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Just had Teddy's handler call in. You gave me the wrong number, Dan. I don't know if you know this, but you gave me the wrong number. And you should be ashamed.
Come on, Dan, be ashamed.
He looks like
Need a
he's
break
ashamed.
from beer?
I mean,
Step
that's
over to the lighter
shame
side
just
with the
dripping
Jim Beam
off his
highballs.
face.
Is your beer selection getting a little boring?
hiding
Or
behind his
maybe the
little
beer aisles don't
blue
excite
cap
you like they once did.
mushroom.
Jim Beam is stepping in to help. Jim Beam
Microphone,
highballs are your alternative to beer. Break away from your habitual beer order and let the Jim Beam highball refresh your taste buds. A lighter
Usually it's
alternative
the
to the
base of
heavy
the
feeling
microphone
beer.
that gets
The Jim
blue.
Beam highball, proud sponsor of ESPN's Rock the Mic 2020. Jim Beam encourages you to drink responsibly. Jim Beam Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2020. James B. Beam Distilling Company, Incorporated, Claremont, Kentucky.
Jason Minix here for BSG, the company that brings you the best in home security and smart home technology. The security system in my home is from BSG. The video cameras, video doorbell, other features are fantastic, easy to use. And at BSG, they even offer a waterproof sensor that you can put on your gate so you'll know if someone has gone in your backyard. You can put it on your shed, your boat, your RV. Get that additional peace of mind. A BSG security system starts as low as $29.99 a month, and that includes the smart home LCD panel, installation, and monitoring. Call now, get the gate sensor free, and no payments for the first 6 months on select packages. Go to bsgtexas.com/radio to see exactly what I'm talking about. Again, bsgtexas.com/radio. BSG is local. They've been in San Antonio over 20 years. Call 210-877-1222, 877-1222, or again online, bsgtexas.com/radio.
Twin Peaks is your ultimate sports lodge, and this Thursday through Sunday, the Wicked Good Costume Party is here. Get into Twin Peaks and catch plenty of eye candy wrapped in leather and lace. Join them if you dare. And Jägermeister is on special for only $3.99. That's the shot. Get ready for spooky good times, the unique elixir that takes a combination of flavors including sweet, bitter, fruity, spicy, and aromatic, aged to perfection in German oak. Valid at participating locations October 29th through the 31st. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Viva la raza! I lie, I cheat, I steal. I lie, I cheat,
It is down for the count. Your ESPN San Antonio wrestling show. I'm Dangerous Dan Cialana here with my tag team partner, Brandon Big Poppy Medina. James Pledger back at ESPN Studios in the gorilla position. And there's a position we need to figure out where Thunder Rosa is.
Yes, please.
Maybe I could have phrased that better. But there's all these internet rumors about where Thunder Rosa is going. And like I said before the break, these rumors were started by a guy named Dave Meltzer. And here's what happened on Tuesday night. So Serena Deeb, won the NWA Women's Championship. And so Dave Meltzer tweets Serena Deeb won the NWA Women's title from Thunder Rosa tonight. We did hear about this likely happening, and that both WWE and AEW had interest in her. That was Dave Meltzer. Now, Brandon, before I get into the veracity of these rumors, what's your general opinion about Dave Meltzer and internet journalists in terms of wrestling?
Dave Meltzer has been around for decades. I mean, absolutely a pivotal part of wrestling journalism, for better or for worse. I follow Dave Meltzer. I am not a fan of Dave Meltzer, but I am a follower. I definitely like to hear his opinions on things, specifically not just WWE, but he also has a lot of certain views on UFC as well. And he's been doing that for a long time. So anything combat sports, sports entertainment, Dave Meltzer handles. I truly do not dislike the guy. I know a lot of people have very strong feelings for him. Maybe I just don't take wrestling as serious. I don't know, maybe, but I just firmly believe the guy has been a pivotal part in boosting careers and helping careers. He helps PWI with their rankings. You know, we look at the star rating of matches, and that all comes from Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer is the guy that rates matches. That's why the Omega Okada match is considered one of the best. That's why Chris Jericho's matches are considered the best. I mean, Dave Meltzer, whether you like him, whether you don't, he's almost like the Stephen A. Smith of wrestling journalism. He's the guy. He's the voice of wrestling journalism. And regardless of our feelings towards him, there's not many that do it better than Dave Meltzer.
Okay, but here's the thing. It's like anybody, though, can say, hey, a lot of interest in Thunder Rosa at AEW and WWE, and you don't have to back it up. You don't have to give your sources. And I think Dave Meltzer, and I don't have anything personally against Dave Meltzer, but I think Dave Meltzer and a lot of these internet journalists, it's kind of like psychics. They get praise when they get it correctly, but then when they get it wrong, they kind of just want to move on. So he started that rumor. So everybody's like, oh, what's Thunder Rosa going to be doing? She's going to go to WWE. She's going to be going to AEW full time. Here's the thing. I don't imagine any scenario where Thunder Rosa would go to WWE full time. I mean, I don't know her too well. We've had her on the show several times. She's a friend of the show, but just in my limited interactions with her, I don't see Thunder Rosa as somebody who is going to go into the WWE system and into the machine and say, hey, you can take my identity, do whatever you want with me. And by the way, here's my Twitter password in case I tweet something you don't like, you can delete it. I don't see her doing that. And to kind of put a bow on it, Billy Corgan, yes, same Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins. He's the head of NWA. He confirmed today on Instagram that Thunder Rosa is signed to NWA through 2021. So that means she's not going to WWE, but maybe she'll be able to go do AEW more full time. You know, they have a good relationship, do indie shows. So those are the rumors for Thunder Rosa. Definitely not going to WWE.
Okay, fair enough. But let's talk about that WWE pipeline of superstars. And we saw them at the forefront yesterday with Halloween Havoc. Dan, were you able to watch this live? Were you able to watch this after? Were you able to watch this at all? Halloween Havoc NXT.
I did. I enjoyed it. I knew it was going to be cheesy. I was looking forward to some cheesy fun, and it did not disappoint in terms of looking for some cheesy wrestling fun. I enjoyed Halloween Havoc.
It was an absolute blast. Halloween Havoc was so much fun. It had every great pop of a match, the athleticism that we look forward to. I mean, Halloween Havoc had some of the craziest moments we've seen this year. There was, great production value in that Cameron Grimes match. I love that one. And then also in the women's match, Io Shirai and Candice LeRae. Oh my God, what an incredible battle. Halloween Havoc, that might have been one of, if not my favorite event I've seen in the past 4 to 5 months, honestly.
I think so. And it gets kind of controversial, of course, because they did one of these matches that people call the cinematic matches. So Dexter Lumis versus Cameron Grimes. It was a haunted house of terror match. And according to WWE, according to the official WWE results, Dexter Lumis did not defeat Cameron Grimes. Dexter Lumis tormented Cameron Grimes. What did you think of this match? Did you like the whole haunted house thing, or was it kind of corny? Or
Yo,
Did you love
tell me that you did not get a little scared at times. There was great pop outs. I loved the whole shower scene where it looks like there's a female in the shower.
I bet you did.
Cameron Grimes is like,
Did you
oh,
pause
okay.
it?
Okay, Cameron Grimes is like, I'm gonna jump in the shower real quick. Ends up being zombies. I love the whole zombies there. Very flexible zombies, so that was interesting. But yeah, so I liked it. I thought it was well done. I think Cameron Grimes is a superstar in the making. I'm not saying he has the same wrestling ability, but he definitely has the same comedic appeal as a prime like Kurt Angle back in the day when he was very funny. So I think Cameron Grimes is going to be a very good mid card guy for plenty of years, almost like the Miz. I really enjoy watching Cameron Grimes.
Yeah, he kind of does that sort of Cameron Grimes sort of does that kind of funny heel kind of thing where it's like he's kind of heelish, kind of arrogant, but kind of in a funny way. So you can't really hate him. Kind of like the old honky tonk man kind of heat where it's like, okay, well, it's
That's
like,
a perfect
he's
one.
entertaining,
Yeah.
he's fun, and he's not super evil, just kind of annoying, but then still kind of heelish in that way. So I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
I
Dexter
love
Loomis, I'm glad they changed Dexter Loomis's music because it used to sound kind of like a ripoff of Stranger Things on Netflix. So maybe they got sued, I don't know. So they kind of just switched that up.
cease and desist.
Exactly. Hey.
But I think where I want to go with this is, what did you think about Gargano, Damian Priest, the ending of it? Obviously, we see a guy dressed in the Ghostface Scream outfit come out, hits Damian Priest. Now there's interest online from the Dave Meltzer lovers and Dave Meltzer himself that Damian Priest might be getting pushed up pretty early to the main roster. Do you think that's a smart decision? And what did you think about the ending of Halloween Havoc?
Well, first of all, about that guy in the Scream mask, did you have just a thought, just for even a second, that the guy would take off his hood and it'd be Vince McMahon? It was me.
I was
all along.
It was me, Austin. Yeah.
But in terms of Damian Priest going to the main roster, man, this is kind of like my constant thing here. I'm not really happy for people when they go to the main roster. I'm always kind of like cautiously optimistic because sometimes they do bad things with you on the main roster. And
sometimes
a lot of people, many times, most times, almost every time. So every time I'm never really happy about someone jumping from NXT to the main roster. And these days, maybe they're not even happy either.
Yeah, no, I mean, I understand and I agree. I think Damian Priest, I've seen him when he was at Ring of Honor as, what was his name? Punishment Martinez. That was his name. Damian Priest is, I'm saying this, and again, for those who are like, who the hell is Damian Priest? What the hell is on my radio? Is this wrestling talk? It is. This is Down for the Count. And Damian Priest himself, I don't know. I mean, you remember, Dan, I'm not calling you old, but you do remember prime athletic Undertaker. Damian Priest is very much similar. Damian Priest in real life, I've met the guy before at Ring of Honor shows. Damian Priest walks around at like 6'5", 6'7". Like the dude is huge and he is athletic as hell. I firmly believe him, Keith Lee, those guys are primed to do great things on the main roster, but I just don't believe Damian Priest has enough character build for us to buy into him. It's almost like it's a better version of like Mike Knox. Remember Mike Knox in ECW? He was like a vampire guy and stuff when that ECW revamped back in like 2008. Damian Priest just really has a cool character for right now, but we've already seen great vampire-esque, demonic-esque characters. We've seen Gangrel and the Brood. That's the tippy top of the line, right? That's where we hold those type of characters. And I mean, Gangrel was awesome, but let's be honest, is Gangrel going to be a Hall of Famer? I mean, maybe, but Damian Priest is going to be put into the same position. And unfortunately, this is not the Attitude Era crowd that is going to welcome him with open arms for a vampire-esque character.
Yeah, I think the biggest difficulty with Damian Priest is that, like you said, he is very athletic. He's got a good look, great in the ring, but I don't know what motivates him. If you ask me, hey, why does Damian Priest in character do the things he does? I couldn't tell you. Like, I don't know his backstory in terms of like what makes him tick. And that's a very important part of wrestling. We got to know, like, why do they do the things they do? What is their backstory? What's in their heart? And I don't think NXT has developed that as of yet with Damian Priest.
Now, with that, obviously, I know, Dan, we tend to look over at NXT for AEW, and I want to spend some more time there a little bit with Shotzi Blackheart. I don't know anything about this female. I don't know anything about her wrestling career. This is kind of my first introduction. She seems like a star in the making, character wise. She goes all out. I mean, it is a very much a character. Like it. I mean, it's awesome to see. She has the green hair. She's howling and yelling. Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart need to have a match as soon as possible, or at least a tag team or something. But what are your thoughts on Shotzi Blackheart, who was the host of Halloween Havoc?
I thought it looked like Shotzi Blackheart was having a ball, kind of enjoying that whole Halloween goth stuff. I hope they make her a little more serious. I don't like seeing Shotzi Blackheart driving around in a little kid's little tank. I think that's silly as hell. So I hope they give her a little bit of an edge. Now, if you look up Shotzi Blackheart on Google Images, you'll notice that before she joined the whole WWE NXT system, her character was a little bit more mature, as you say. And WWE kind of cleaned her up. Well, I don't say cleaned her up, but they made her more family friendly for a general audience. So maybe this will be kind of a situation where Shotzi will get a little bit more edgy, get rid of all the army toys and everything, and the hat, the army hat and everything, and kind of be more serious, kind of a goth character. I enjoyed it. I thought she looked cool last night. I thought she looked like she was having a ball. It looked like Shotzi Blackheart was really in her element. So I hope they start doing more with her in terms of kind of like being scary and doing the horror stuff.
Yeah. Now, the reason I asked is because we saw her involved in that women's title match, which was the main event. Candice LeRae took a crazy spot off the ladder onto a ladder. Is this spot the craziest we've ever seen in a female competitive match on WWE television?
I'll tell you what, that ladder spot looked like it hurt. And listen, yes, matches are predetermined. Wrestling is entertainment. We get that. We're not 12 years old, but there's no soft way to land on a hard ladder. It just doesn't exist. So, man, that was a tough looking spot. But my hat's off to both those ladies, Io Shirai, Candice LeRae. They put on a great match, and I loved it. I thought it was a great way to end a pretty good Halloween Havoc NXT.
Yeah, and the Ghostface Scream was still there in that match. I want to know if we're going to find out who this person was and why he was there.
I hope you'll still be here after the break, though, Brandon, because we will be talking to WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long on ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at espnsa.com/wrestling.
Jewelers all over town promise that they absolutely guarantee the lowest price and try very hard to get you to buy today. But when you say not now, they suddenly offer you a 25% discount. And when you start to leave, they offer another 25% discount. How can you believe jewelers who say they guarantee the lowest price and then systematically try to take an extra 50% from anyone they can talk into paying full price and hold their biggest sale of the year every couple of months? At America's Diamond, we design and manufacture our extraordinary diamond jewelry right here in San Antonio. Everyone gets our very lowest price every day of the year. We've never had a sale. Our knowledgeable and friendly staff are never on commission. We guarantee that quality for quality, our everyday America's Diamond manufacturer's price is lower than any jeweler's very best sale price, or we'll refund the difference plus 25%. See our television program tonight on ABC KSAT 12 at 12:35 a.m. or right now at americasdiamond.com.
When you needed your mom, she was always there with the Vicks Vapor Rub. She used that soothing scent to calm you. And her mom used it to calm her. And her mom, well, you get the idea. Vicks Vapor Rub's always been there. It always made you feel better. And today, it still does. Bring back those childhood memories with the comfort and care only Vicks Vapor Rub can bring. Vicks Vapor Rub, family tradition for a reason.
And Sarah Whitten Chevrolet says stop before you buy your new Chevy, because Sunday is the start of Chevy Days at Sarah Whitten Chevrolet on Bandera Road. Get low interest rates, our largest selection of new Chevys, and low and zero prices. Buy a new Chevy, get 4 annual supported passes to the San Antonio Zoo. So stop before you buy and come by Sarah Whitten Chevrolet this Sunday. The #1 Chevy store, right outside Loop 410 on Bandera Road. Chevrolet, find new roads.
At Security Service Federal Credit Union, we believe there's nothing better than the feeling of home. After all, home is where we're together.
Hey, come on in.
Where we laugh. Where we celebrate. Home is where we always feel just right. Security Service works hard to get you the lowest rate and a monthly payment that's comfortable for you. Because we believe a home loan should feel just right, just like home. Save up to $5,000 on closing costs or lower your payments with a power rate. Get started with a free virtual appointment at ssfcu.org. Security Service, for a home loan that feels like home.
Equal housing lender. Membership eligibility required. Loan subject to credit approval. Offer subject to change. Valid in Texas, Colorado, and Utah. Offer to save up to $5,000 does not cover certain costs. Not valid on FHA VA loans. Other restrictions apply. Visit ssfcu.org for details.
ESPN San Antonio's Big Score is back, taking you 6 to midnight.
Blazing boom!
We're giving you 18 chances a day to win $1,000. Just listen for the keyword every hour, Monday through Friday, between the hours of 6 a.m. and midnight. Then enter that keyword at espnsa.com for your chance to win. The Big Score is just another way it pays to listen to ESPN San Antonio all day, every day. 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at espnsa.com.
You know it's the Mac Militant.
Coming to get it on. You got 'em away. I'm coming to thunder and lightning. Striking, I'm inviting you all to the storm. Feel the pain that you try to.
What is going on, San Antonio? Welcome to Down for the Count. I am your man, Brandon Big Poppy Medina. That is Dangerous Dan Cialana. This is your premier wrestling show. Dan, how are you feeling, my man?
I'm feeling good. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to the man himself, Teddy Long. You know, Teddy Long's a busy guy. You never know what he's doing behind the scenes.
Come on now, bro.
Maybe a little something came up, and he had to take care of
I'm sure
business.
he's setting up tag team matches like he always did. That was his #1 thing. And if not, someone is going one-on-one with The Undertaker.
I was actually looking up some old Teddy Long videos, and I found this one where The Undertaker kidnapped him. The Undertaker actually liked it. He kidnapped a bunch of people, actually.
Listen, there's a bunch of charges that WWE wrestlers need to go into.
He kidnapped The Undertaker kidnapped Teddy Long, and Teddy Long's in the back of the limo, and there's smoke filling up and everything. And I don't know why the camera guy didn't help him out. I guess the camera guy got kidnapped as well.
You know
the
what,
Undertaker.
Dan? You know what? Me and you have a multitude of knowledge of WWE wrestling, correct?
A plethora,
plethora, if you will. Absolutely. Now, with that, Dan, let's talk. Obviously, Halloween is in 2 days, right? Let's talk a little bit about our favorite moments that deserve to be in our Halloween special. You brought up The Undertaker kidnapping people. Do you remember? When the Big Boss Man and the Big Show had a feud, and the Big Boss Man dragged the Big Show's father at a funeral, at a burial, dragged the casket? Do you remember this?
Well, to be clear, that wasn't his shoot real father. That was his working father in the casket
hey,
there.
Listen, you got to believe.
Yeah, so WWE did a scene where the Big Show was at his father's funeral, and the Big Boss Man came to the funeral, to the cemetery, and tied up with a chain the coffin and dragged the coffin across the cemetery. And actually, I want to give a shout out to Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard and Comrade Thompson. They actually talked about this whole scenario, this scene. This was filmed at a real cemetery while there were real life funerals going on.
God.
So imagine being at a funeral and you see this camera crew and you see the Big Boss Man driving in with a Blues Brothers car with a big speaker on top. and he's yelling at the Big Show, and they're doing a wrestling angle, and then you see a guy drag a casket away on a chain. Imagine that. So that's actually a real thing that really happened in WWE. And Bruce Pritchard actually talks about how they had to do that in one take because they knew after they started filming that they were going to get kicked out of the cemetery. So there wasn't going to be any like, hey, well, let's go back and do it again. So they had just a few minutes to do that. And they did that. They did it well, I think. And that's one of the definitely a most memorable moment. Scary. It wasn't Halloween time, but it fits for the Halloween theme.
It does. And I mean, Taker was crucifying people. I mean, Taker was putting Stone Cold Steve Austin, crucifying Stone Cold Steve Austin. He hung the Big Boss Man. Do you remember that one? That one was crazy from the hell.
That was gross.
That one was wild. But see, here's the thing. You spoke too soon, Dan. You said that one was gross. The Big Boss Man needs his own special on Halloween because the dude was awful. The dude was a bad guy. So the Big Boss Man, from a young age, I understood police were untrustworthy. So Big Boss Man, do you remember when he fed Al Snow his own pet? Do you remember that as well? This is also in my plethora of knowledge of awful scenes WWE has just ridden my mind with for Halloween.
Yeah, so Big Boss Man was feuding with Al Snow, and then Big Boss Man actually took Al Snow's dog. What's his name? Pepper? Is that his name?
Yo, look at you. Look
Pepper,
at you.
yeah.
We need to do some trivia because you knew that off the bat. Pepper, that's right.
So the Big Boss Man pretends. He said, okay, Al Snow, we need to reconcile. We need to, kind of bury the hatchet here. Come to my hotel room.
That's so awkward already.
He goes to the hotel room, and Big Boss Man has a platter. It looks like little pork bites. Offers him Al Snow, starts eating. And then Big Boss Man says something to the effect of, hey, be sure not to don't eat any of those paws. So yes, he fed his own barbecued dog to him, Big Boss Man. But another scary Halloween memory I have, and this kind of scarred me as a kid. This actually may be the most scarring WWE memory of all time.
I know it. Can I guess it?
Guess it.
Okay, Jake the Snake Roberts biting
God.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh my God.
The snake.
Macho Man Randy Savage was bit by Jake Roberts and his King Cobra. And as Vince McMahon on commentary said, I don't think that snake has been venomized. That scared the crap out of me because, okay, when I was a little kid, I was like 11 years old. I knew that wrestling was entertainment. I knew that it was a work, but I thought they botched it. I thought this was an accident, that the snake actually bit the Macho Man and that he was going to die. That's what I thought. Anyway, but someone who's not going to die is you, the listener, because we're going to be coming right back. We'll be talking to Teddy Long. This is Down for the Count on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Twin Peaks is your ultimate sports lodge, and this Thursday through Sunday, the Wicked Good Costume Party is here. Get into Twin Peaks and catch plenty of eye candy wrapped in leather and lace. Join them if you dare. And Jägermeister is on special for only $3.99. That's the shot. Get ready for spooky good times, the unique elixir that takes a combination of flavors including sweet, bitter, fruity, spicy, and aromatic, aged to perfection in German oak. Valid at participating locations October 29th through the 31st. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
Jason Minix here for BSG, the company that brings you the best in home security and smart home technology. The security system in my home is from BSG. The video cameras, video doorbell, other features are fantastic, easy to use. And at BSG, they even offer a waterproof sensor that you can put on your gate so you'll know if someone has gone in your backyard. You can put it on your shed, your boat, your RV. Get that additional peace of mind. A BSG security system starts as low as $29.99 a month, and that includes the smart home LCD panel, installation, and monitoring. Call now, get the gate sensor free, and no payments for the first 6 months on select packages. Go to bsgtexas.com/radio to see exactly what I'm talking about. Again, bsgtexas.com/radio. BSG is local. They've been in San Antonio over 20 years. Call 210-877-1222, 877-1222, or again online, bsgtexas.com/radio.
MomNeedsABreakCleaning.com. That's the name of the business because that's what we do. Give Mom a break and let us clean. MomNeedsABreakCleaning.com offers residential and commercial cleaning services, one-time recurring and move-out services available. We pride ourselves in your satisfaction. After each cleaning, we do a walkthrough with you to make sure you are 100% satisfied. For residential or commercial cleaning, call 210-815-1399 or go to MomNeedsABreakCleaning.com. That's MomNeedsABreakCleaning.com.
On your knees, dog.
It is Down for the Count, your ESPN San Antonio wrestling show. I'm Dangerous Dan Cialana here with my tag team partner, Brandon Big Poppy Medina. James Pledger running the gorilla position back at ESPN San Antonio. And right now, Brandon, how exciting is this?
Super. This is crazy.
We're going to talk to right now a WWE Hall of Famer and the current general manager of SWE Fury, Teddy Long. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, guys, man. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Glad to talk to you. So tell us about this event we got going on here in San Antonio, November 7th, SWE Fury. What do you got for us?
Hey, man, we got a great, outstanding big wrestling card. Got all the SWE superstars coming to San Antonio. And, we're going to be, putting this event on right there at the Limit Sports Academy. That's where it's all going to be happening. But before I tell you about, what the big wrestling card is going to be, I wanted to let everybody know, we're also offering something else. There may be some guys and girls there in San Antonio that may want to, pursue the life of a professional wrestler. They may want to get involved in professional wrestling. So what we're offering, that Saturday morning right there at the Limited Sports Academy, early that morning before the event, we're going to have a academy right there that we're going to be giving where people can come in and they can sign up, and you can see if you want to join up and learn how to become a professional wrestler or referee, diva, announcer, whatever you want to do, we're able to provide that for you and we can able to get you trained. So I just wanted to let everybody know about that Saturday morning pro wrestling camp, and that's going to be happening real early that morning. So if you want to become a wrestler, referee, or whatever you want to do in this business, we can train you, and that's going to be, happening basically at all of our events that we're going to be having. Now, let's talk about this big wrestling card that's coming right there November 7th on Saturday. We're talking about we're going to have, big superstars like Brett McKenzie. And if everybody's been watching our TV shows, you can know that Brett McKenzie is certainly having his problems with our SWE champion, Tim Storm. But maybe, that feud will end, or maybe we can settle that. But there's also been a newcomer that's came into SWE, and his name is Jax. And he seems to be having a problem with Tim Storm. So we got a lot going on there. Also, we're going to be having a former WWE Tag Team Champion, Charlie Hart. Charlie Hart is going to be one of our special guests. He's going to be at the show. And Niles Punk, our TV champion, he will certainly be there in action. And also Miranda Gordy. Miranda Gordy is the daughter of the legend Terry Gordy of the famous Freebirds team. She is the SWE Women's Champion. She's going to be in action, and she will be defending her title. Also, y'all got Moonshine Mantell will be in the building. So we got a host of stars that are going to be there Saturday night in San Antonio, Texas. And we're going to be doing a big meet and greet. Kevin Sullivan, I'm pretty sure a lot of people remember him from back in the day. He's going to be a special guest at the big meet and greet just before the matches start. So we got a lot going on, players, and we just ask everybody to come out. We're looking for your support, and we got a hell of a show for you.
Now, Teddy Long, this is Dan, and I got a question. I want to ask you about a rumor here. And remember that we're on radio here, we're on live radio, so be careful. But can you please confirm the rumor of how you got your nickname, Teddy Long?
I don't know. I never heard of that rumor. That's my name, Teddy Long. That's not my nickname. So I don't know. That rumor there, you need to tell me how you got that rumor.
Because I heard that it was not your given name, but it was a name that maybe acquaintance of yours, a female companion of yours, gave to you. Is that not true?
Well, that might have been. That was probably my wife. You know what I mean? Yeah, she did give me that name back in the day. That's why we've been together over 30-some years. And see, 30-some years mean Teddy Long, and the other thing is long time.
That's a secret.
Man. Goodness. Yo, Teddy, this is Brandon. Let me holler at you, player, right? That's what we're talking about. We're talking to the legend here. And I grew up idolizing you. Me and my friends were just enthralled with everything. And the number one question I always get whenever I talk to buddies and we watch old episodes of SmackDown or whatever is, why did everybody have to go one-on-one with The Undertaker?
Well, that was kind of your punishment. If you didn't do what I want, it's like in school, I'm the principal. So if you give me a problem, then I'm going to give you a lashing. And that lashing was The Undertaker.
Now, Teddy Long, one of my favorite memories of you and The Undertaker, for some reason, he got mad at you and decided to kidnap you. And he puts you in the back of a limousine. So what was it like filming those kind of crazy Undertaker scenes? How do you keep a straight face? And what was it like working with The Undertaker during those crazy times?
Well, me and The Undertaker, we go way back. I managed him back in WCW before he ever became The Undertaker. It was me and Mark Callis. So me and Mark, we got a lot of history there. And so when I came into the WWE, he left WCW first before I did, and he went on up to WWE. And so when I came in, I came in first, being a referee. I started out there. Then that McMahon figured out, what I could do, for his talking. And then that's when I moved into being a manager, and then from that into general manager. But going back to answer your question, just to reunite, with Taker was absolutely fantastic. And he's a nice guy to work with. I mean, one of the greatest, nicest guys in this business. And so to do stuff with him, and basically that stuff that me and The Undertaker did, Vince McMahon wrote all of that. And so, that's a lot of pressure, man. You can't be messing around. You got, when the boss writes something, you got to get that done. So, I just enjoyed it, man. I just had a great time and just was so happy just to be in the position that I was in, working with The Undertaker, and me and The Undertaker at CM Punk, which was a big part of that too. We, doing what the big boss man wants. So, it was just an honor for me, and man, I was just happy to be there.
Now, Teddy, obviously you've had an illustrious career, Hall of Famer, of course. When you look back at it, you are absolutely the number one face when you think about GMs. Obviously, you have Vince McMahon, of course, but you look at GM specifically, everybody remembers you. Your character lives on forever. And, when you look back at your career, what are you most proud of after that many years in the business?
I'm most proud of being still alive. That's number one. And the other thing that I'm proud of is that I'm able to be a part of this great organization, SWE. It was something, I hadn't even really thought about it, because after I came home for a while, I had been on the road over 20 some years. And man, after I came home, and I stayed home for about 2-3 months, I finally realized what it meant to be home for a while. I didn't want to go nowhere. So I just wanted to do what I do right now, just go to the gym, enjoy my life, go and do personal appearances, do Comic Cons and whatever, and just have a good rest of my lifetime. But, I guess, how God works. So he put me in touch with these people at SWE. And, so I'm just glad to be a part of that. I'm, at my age, I'm still around. I'm still able to do my thing, and people are still, will accept me, to let me entertain them. And that's what I'm proud of.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely understand that. And, we're happy to have you still working in the business. And when you talk about SWE, bringing in some new talent and giving the opportunity for new talent to arrive and thrive, what is some of the advice you'd give to somebody out there listening right now on ESPN San Antonio that wants to be part of the limelight and be a wrestler or be a referee or go into announcing? What is that advice from Teddy Long?
Well, my advice to you is to make sure this is what you really want to do. A lot of times, a lot of guys and girls, they see this on TV and they're like, oh, God, that's great. That's what I want to do. And then sometimes when they come to the training center and they step into that ring and they start taking bumps and they see, oh, wait a minute, that hurt, So, sometimes that, throws them off when they say, oh, I thought this was, fake, and I don't want to do this. I'll get hurt. So then that's the person that you need to step on out. But when you step in there and you get hurt, you take it like a man or you take it like a woman, however you want to take it. My advice to you is just, do whatever you're asked to do. You know what I mean? Just, keep your ears open. Listen, do a lot of listening, especially to people that have been around for a while, and people that can give you good advice. You got people going to give you some bad advice, but if you continue to stay around, you will finally figure out the bad from the good. So I just want to make sure that you're dedicated. Make this what you want to do, because this calls for dedication. This calls for getting up, moving when you may not want to move, but you got to move because it's all about this business. And if you love it, then you'll do whatever you got to do to make it work.
All right, we just got a couple more minutes here with WWE Hall of Famer and current SWE.
I wanted to run something.
Go ahead.
I wanted to run something by you guys too. Before we get going here, I wanted to also mention that here in SWE, we got our women's division that's going to be starting. We got a lot of great divas coming in. Malia Hasaka, she's going to be a part of that. Bert Vixen and La Rosa Negro. Those are some of the girls that'll be coming in, and also we're going to be partnering with Thunder Rosa. She's the owner of Mission Pro Wrestling. So we're going to be using a lot of her talent. So our women's division is certainly going to be kicking off. And for people that don't have your tickets right now, you can go to swfury.com, get your tickets. And let me give a shout out to Tom Lance, James Beard, Lynn Denton, and Bob Malden. You know what I mean? Guys that are working behind the scenes and guys that are making this stuff happen. I just want to let them know that I appreciate them, and I want to let the fans know too. Rob Malden, one of the greatest announcers of all time. So Tom, James, Adam, Lynn Denton, these guys work. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry, but I still love you.
All right, we're looking forward to seeing you here in San Antonio, November 7th for SWE Fury tapings. WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long, thank you so much for joining us tonight on ESPN San Antonio, Down for the Count.
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me, and hey, be looking out for my podcast that's going to be coming. It's called Hold On a Minute, Player.
All right, have a great night.
All right, thank you.
All right, how about that, Brandon? Hall of Famer.
What an absolute legend. I'll tell you, man, it's very few and far between that I think I get excited and starstruck to interview these guys. Obviously, we're blessed to be in a position where we get to interview these legends themselves, whether they're legends in the making like Drew McIntyre and Thunder Rosa or Teddy Long. But man, I mean, you think about it. I'm 24 years old, Dan. Teddy Long has really, I grew up with Teddy Long. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That was the GM. So it's awesome to hear him talk and conversate. And it's hilarious that Teddy Long did get a little nickname from his wife. So solid question there by Dan Cialana.
I had to ask. And if you want free tickets, free, the best price for the November 7th SWE Fury shows, be caller 5 right now at 656 ESPN. That's 210-656-3776. Live pro wrestling in San Antonio featuring wrestling stars from SWE Fury TV and Mission Pro Wrestling. SWE Fury National TV tapings Saturday, November 7th, 2020. With 2 tapings, 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. SWE Fury GM Teddy Long, special guest Kevin Sullivan, and all the stars of SWE Fury and Mission Pro. For ticket info, go to SWEfury.com. Caller number 5 at 210-656-3776 to win a pair of tickets.
Honestly, it's going to be an awesome event, man. I think anybody who gets these tickets, definitely, obviously, be safe when you're out there, but enjoy the show because, man, it is stacked, Dan.
Absolutely. Got to be fun. Got to be fun.
Going to be a great time.
There's no excuse. Listen, there's going to be a lot of crazy things happening in the news next week. A lot of things that are going to be stressful. There's so much wrestling going on that there is no excuse to get caught up in anything negative. There's so much positive wrestling, so many great people like Teddy Long, so many great organizations like SWE Fury doing great stuff, a lot of talented people there. This is the great time of wrestling. I think I'm going to say this, Brandon, I think we are entering a new golden age of wrestling, and I think Texas is one of the leaders of this new golden age.
All righty. Well, you heard it here first with Dan Cialana. I completely agree. I think, baseball is done now. The Dodgers are World Series champs. The Lakers are NBA champs. The NFL is continuing. Right now, if you're looking for another sport, if you are just bored from Tuesday to Wednesday, Saturdays and Fridays, listen, we got you covered. Go watch wrestling because it is better than everything you like. Isn't that correct, Dan Cialana?
Yeah, quit your job and watch wrestling. Your job probably doesn't appreciate you. Go on welfare, watch wrestling. You'll have a happier life, I promise.
There you go, Dan Cialana, giving you wise words, if you will.
Yes, secrets to my success.
Yeah, it's secrets to Dan Cialana's success. And if you don't believe wrestling can bring and burden success, understand that we are two grown adults talking wrestling on ESPN San Antonio. Clearly, we are heroes to many, Dan.
I may not be a hero to Teddy Long. Do you think I offended him with that question? It's something I heard.
I don't think you did.
I heard. I mean, it was my journalistic duty to ask him that. And I kept it clean. I kept it subtle for the radio. Ask him how he got his nickname Teddy Long.
He said that his wife gave him it, and also it means that it is
Happy
a
woman.
long time that they've been together. So Teddy Long, man, what a legend. Following up now, Dan, we only have a minute or so. Halloween's coming up, Dan. Are you going to be dressing up? And if so, what are you dressing up as?
Well, my life, I'm already scary enough. I already frightened myself enough that I don't need to wear a costume.
You're not
I know
going to be
James
a lower
Pledger.
animal?
James Pledger out in the gorilla position there at ESPN San Antonio. I know he'll be out and about on Saturday nights doing whatever he's doing. I think he's going to be, do you remember Mr. Goodbody? Did they have Mr. Goodbody here in Texas? Yeah, Mr. Good. It was he would dress up in a full body like spandex suit that had all the body parts, well, most of them, to teach kids about anatomy. I think that's what James Pledger is going to dress up as for science.
Sounds good. That's what I'm talking about, James. Go get your Mr. Body on, baby. I'm going to be dressing up over here. I'm going to be definitely at home, however, hopefully passing out candies with the little grabber and stuff. So we're socially distancing. But with everything, man, have a safe and wonderful Halloween. Once again, big thank you to the legend himself, Teddy Long. Thank you for joining us. We know sometimes, you have other plans, but you like to talk wrestling with us. So that's been great, Dan. Another great show in the books, brother. I cannot wait for another great interview just like Teddy Long.
Follow Down for the Count on Twitter at DFTC Podcast.
My mom and dad started Alma Water.